This guy. Now, let's start the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Awareness Hour. I got that right, Linda. I didn't say power. I did say power. We always get that. And welcome to the Business Awareness Hour with myself, Norman Wasserman, co-host, and my co-host, Linda Grace Farley, with the most beautiful middle name ever. All
Thank
right,
you, thank you,
that
thank
fits
you,
your
Norm.
disposition and such. Tell everybody what it is that you do.
Okay. First and foremost, I am a coach, transformational coach, and I am a Beamer partner. So I look at things from a mind, body, and spirit perspective and helping people to navigate those ebbs and flows of life. So, so how are you? How have you been this week, Norm?
I've been, I guess, kind of okay. We've had some sickness in the family, and so where the this particular member of the family was in a hospital for 3, 4 days, and now back out of the hospital. And
I'm glad they're on the mends.
oh, there she's my wife, who is the lady in the hospital, is igniting her evolutions
Oh, is
right
she?
now.
She's getting fired up.
She's definitely getting fired up. I said to her before I left, because all day she's been like really out of it. And I said, you really look like you're coming along. She goes, yeah, I feel really much better. Maybe she knew Ignite Evolutions was going to be on
You
tonight.
think? Hey, I think energetically, it probably, they call it transference, right? So
We're going
you
to
were
start the
excited.
transforms right now, as we
Yes,
welcome
yes.
Shelley Hill, without her partner tonight, Dina Granger, because Dina's got the flu. Sorry, not COVID. She has COVID, right, Shell?
Yeah,
All right. Well,
that's
welcome.
true.
Welcome to the
Thank you.
Business Awareness Hour. Welcome you to be here tonight. I know we've been waiting for this for a while. We've had some postponements, for one
Mhm.
reason or another, but now we almost had another one tonight with Dina, being sick. By the way, Dina, we hope you feel better because I know that you're watching.
Yes.
So we wish you all the best. So tell us, upon graduation from school back in the day, if you could, and I don't even believe, I know you told me about your age. There is no way in heck that you are really as old as you said you are. You are so young in every which way. Let's take it from the top now. So you got to high school, and did you went off to college?
I did go off to college for 1 year, and then I got married and had my daughter. And then from having my daughter, I went right into the workforce about 21, 22-ish. And then I've been in this industry. I've been in tech for 30, was in tech for 32 years.
Were you
And
in your
then
first job? Was that a tech job?
it was actually at a startup company back in, well, actually it was before, yeah, it was like 1900s. It was a startup company who built voice portals for um, kind of like voiceovers. So it was called quack.com. It was so funny. We were
Quack?
called quackers. And so I worked for yeah, I worked in engineering. I was working with the CTO at the time. And then about a year into it, they got acquired. And so we went through acquisition, and then we dispersed at that point. I went on to my next journey. So I did a lot of startups. I worked in a lot of big companies, large, I call them big houses. And so I just been on the journey, was at Cisco for a while and a few other big companies, and just really kind of uh, had the opportunity to be mentored by a lot of great executives and teams, and really broaden my knowledge across different industries and fields within that company. And then I did a short stint with law firms. So I was in some legal work, and had fun along the journey. It was funny because the reason why I decided to do into legal work when I took a break from tech was when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer. And so I was like, what better way to have the opportunity to work in law firms? And so after I just worked in the law firms, I go, yeah, I don't want to go to law school. Um, and then I went back into tech. So, I've just been there my whole life, and now I have this opportunity to bring all my skill sets that I have
Well,
acquired over
let
the
me
years,
interrupt you for one
and be.
second. Let's talk about some of those skill sets.
Mm.
What would you consider is your strength?
Wow. I think a couple things. I'm great with connectivity. So being able to see the vision of gaps and create solutions, I think is really important for me. It comes really easy. And to that point, going into like different planning, I have a lot of operations. I love operations processes. So I think the connectivity also too, I'm a huge networker. So I believe that it's a power of collaboration. So I love collaborating with other people, sharing nuggets and just really expand. That's huge for me. And then in those collaborations, it's about building relationships. So I'm always about, how can I serve other people and businesses, whether it's through referrals or, if I hear somebody in need, who do I know in my network that can provide that for them? And I think those things and my organizational skills are crazy. Like I'm
Okay,
so
another question for you.
organized.
I told you I'm going to
Yes.
interrupt you. Every little
Yes.
we're going to interrupt just a little bit. I'm a company, whatever it may be. I get referred to you. I've been in business about 6 months. Things are going, so. All right. What do you do now to get this person started rocking and rolling in their business? What do you offer them, and what's the procedure?
Well, that's actually a great question. We have two things. We have Ignite, our Tag Ignite program, and our Tag Evolution program. And so it depends on where they are at in revenue, will depend on how much triage we do. So normally Ignite is more, we come in, we see what the gaps are in revenue, structure, operational system, risk liability, and we immediately triage and get those done. Sometimes that's with them working with other companies. If we look at contracts, like basically stop the bleeding of the money. Sometimes when they come to us are really below in red, and we try to fix that as soon as possible to get them on the right path to make some money. Evolution is kind of the same thing, but it goes more in depth where we really help them create a lot of wealth. And so we'll bring in like go-to-market plan, communication strategy. We look at sales strategy, click-to conversions. So it just depends on where you are at when we talk, because even though we have these programs, we customize to each client. So a client might need more or less in an individual area. So we get to know the customer in depth of really what's going on in their business and then what their goals are. And then we have kind of come together, me and my partner, and we put a quote of what we think we could do.
All right, let me
And then,
interrupt
of
you for
course,
a
we see
second.
that.
Another interruption. Okay.
Yes.
Dina, is
Yes.
Dina's experience the same as yours, or do you offset each other?
And that's actually a great question. We offset each other.
That's two good
a couple of-
questions.
yeah, it's a very good,
Two.
it's a second good question. We offset each other in two ways. I'm kind of real high energy. I always tell my clients I'm
Really?
like the Tasmanian. Yes, I'm like the Tasmanian devil. Like I'm spinning purple smoke everywhere. My partner is very namaste, very kind of, kind of calm and
Nice.
collected. And so we balance each other really well when we are with clients. My partner's background is really heavy in legal. She worked in law firms a lot. She is heavy finance. She was in not operations but finance companies, working along CFOs. So she's very knowledgeable on financials. And then on top of that, she does a lot of branding communication. She does all of our branding communication overview in our company, and helps our clients with that as well. And her additional background, it's crazy. Her additional background is aerospace. So she comes from legal, finance, aerospace. I come from legal, finance, tech. And so we bring a unique kind of attribute to our clients because she looks at things more of a consumer. I look at things more in sales. So we bring different perspectives to our clients, and that's what makes it so great when clients work with us.
Tell me what
Perfect match.
Tell me what
That's a
tagging.
perfect match, right?
It is.
Sure.
It is actually.
Yeah. I noticed you don't have medical background, do you, Shelley?
No, I actually don't have medical background, and that's kind of funny because one of our current clients is in healthcare. Because we're not industry specific, we go really deep into the weeds with our clients on business operations and business development and roadmap.
Yeah.
I create a customized roadmap that we go to the core of the operations and branding, not necessarily learning like medical terms.
The reason I asked is the choice of words. Like just now you said into the weeds. Now, if you're in the restaurant industry, you'll hear that a lot. Oh, they're in the weeds, right? And that means they're losing it
Yeah.
because there's so many orders coming in. But when you were saying stop the bleed, that
Yeah.
is kind of like, I mean, and from a technical perspective, because I was a tech, um, you look at it reactive, you got to stop the bleed and you look at the whole picture, right? I got to stop it here, fix it here, and then have a remedial solution until we can get everything together. So, but I think the match between you and the partner is, yeah, you bringing everything together, and she grounds you where
She
you're out
does.
in yeah,
Like I
she
said, I always tell
grounds
my
you.
clients, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I normally will glaze the clients over because I give so much data. I'm very data centric. And so she kind of brings it back in like layman's terms because of the technology background I have. And then the funny part, when I always think about bleeding is because of funds. Like I look at revenue retention.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
bleeding funds, we plug the hole so that way you could start retaining the financials and the money into the company
Mhm.
in order to have the right expenditure. And so we want to make sure that they're in a positive and they keep growing in a net profit positivity gain versus, sending out, because some things don't, some things might not align at the same time frame. And sometimes
Sure.
entrepreneurs and business owners think that they have to do this before this, and normally it's that before this. So we
Mhm.
kind of holistically, and it's not just a product and services, we look at it holistically as a company overall. So even if it's an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, the entrepreneur is the brand, the entrepreneur is the CEO of the company.
Yes.
90% of the time, they have other layers or other things that they want to do. We incorporate that. So we actually change them. I do a lot of CEO mind mapping, and I change their mindset as an entrepreneur to a CEO. Because when you
Mhm.
really look at it as a CEO perspective, you kind of have business analysis differently than if you're like an entrepreneur. And so we really get into it with you. We kind of understand what you're looking for. And then I reverse engineer the roadmap and the executional items to get us there along all the other things. Because if you
When you
scale
charge,
quickly, which most of the, go ahead.
when you, is it okay if I say something?
I was like, he's
I was going
interrupting
to tell you to
again.
take a deep
He's on a
breath.
roll though, Norm. You gotta go with the flow until
I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, now I just forgot what I was going to say. When you come up, do you come up with a package or are you an hourly rate?
No, so we are package related. And then what we do is we have a baseline package and then we'll customize. So like I said, sometimes people need more or less. So then what we do is we provide each client with a quote. And then normally it will have two options because I want the client to have all the information because you don't know what you don't know. And then that way they can make the determination of which way they want to go. And then we support them, whatever journey they want to go on, we support them in that journey.
And then you
And
determine
so
by how many hours you think it's going to take in order to come up with your plan.
right, because Ignite, Tag Ignite is, since it's only a 6-week program, we do meet with the client once a week together, all three of us or their team and us. And then for Evolution, they'll have one a week together, and then they'll have one-offs with my partner to go over like risk liability, branding, clarity. And then they'll have one-offs with me to go over specifically sales, communication process, sales process, click to conversions, pipeline review, things like that, because I want them to generate revenue sales quickly. And to my point, Linda, earlier, is that if you don't have the foundational operational system, you can't scale quickly. So we
That's
make
right.
sure the foundation, and that's what TAG stands for, by the way, our program. TAG is for transform, or I say foundational building. A is for acceleration. It's all about sales and click to conversions. And then the G is for growth and expansion. And basically when they get to that point, they have the revenue that they want. And then we help them be able to monetize on any opportunity that comes to them. So within 5 minutes, they know how to position that offer or that collaboration for their business.
Why did
So
you
that's
pick
really what
this?
Tag
Why
does.
did
Huh?
you pick this profession as one that you
You,
wanted? You could have gone so many different ways.
you know what's so funny? It fell into my lap. So when I was in corporate America, there was a lot of people that were retiring and starting their own businesses. And so I would help peers and friends of mine that had businesses. And so I would just share love and nuggets to them about positioning and how to really establish their businesses because they were looking to supplement and grow from what they were making in corporate America. And so I would help them. And a good friend of mine told me one day, she goes, Shelly, you have to take this to the masses. You have a gift. You have to share that gift. We love you because you're telling us and we're getting, industry advantage over other people, but you have to take this. And so it took me about 18 months to get it out of my head and into writing. And so we originally had a program called Dive, and Dive was our program prior to COVID. We had people come into Dive, we beta tested it, we got all the feedback, COVID happened.
What was it about? What did Dive do?
Dive was like an earlier version of Tag. The only difference is Dive was more thought provoking, so it was more challenging the entrepreneur to think more versus versus me and my team being more hands on. And so that was the feedback that we got, was that there was not enough us in the program because it was very thought provoking for the entrepreneur. Because you have to think if you want to have businesses. Businesses are not easy. But so you have to have the right go-to-market plan. You have to have the right, marketing. Everything has to be harmoniously happening cohesively together at the same time, right? And so we took that feedback, and when COVID hit, it actually affected a lot of our clients. So what we did and took advantage of is we went back into the lab, took the feedback from Dive, took the automated system that we had, because it was all automated, and then we came back with an accelerated program called Tag. And so Tag is the evolution of Dive. And so it just kind of fit in what we were trying to do. And we were able to help clients build revenue in a net profit perspective faster by going back into the lab with the feedback.
Sure.
And I just love it. And so to your point, so I'm so excited. So then that's when we started doing it. So I knew that I was eventually going to leave corporate, and I wanted to do this full time. And that's actually what I did in January of 2024. I retired from corporate in December and decided to really launch this full time. And people don't know us. And so that's why we had this great opportunity to be on your show, is because, like I always say, you don't know what you don't know. And if they don't know us, they don't know how we can serve. And so we're just trying to really impact. Our whole philosophy is to impact yourself, your business, and your family, and to leave wealth and business revenue for yourself and your family so you can fly. We want our clients to fly. And so if you're not flying, we didn't do our job. And so we want to be able to impact more people and more lives. So that's why we relaunched in January 2024. I keep saying 23, but we're actually in 24.
Yeah.
And so we're excited, about
You could have fooled me.
the journey. So yeah.
And
so
it's hard to believe you just started. I mean, well, you rebranded, right? You relaunched, and the world's waiting for someone like your company. Because think about this. We've had quite a few people on the show, and they're helping out, but sometimes they need companies need tactic maneuvers, if you will, in order to, because they know what they want. They just don't know how to do it, right? So when you lay something out, a lot of people, even though they're CEOs or CFOs of a company, they will look at it and say, okay, I don't know, this is out of my bandwidth. I'm coming to you, Shelley, right? So tell me what I need to do, and I will follow your directive.
Yep.
Right. And that's what a lot, because there's so many people under stress these days.
Right.
So they need a company like yours.
You know who needs
in
you?
order to go ahead. No?
Fractional CEOs and fractional CFOs.
Yep.
Because they
And
can
we
handle.
talk. Go ahead, Norman. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go.
No, I'm saying, and that's the key issues is the fractional CMOs and the CFOs and the entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs that just can't figure out like why. So we normally get like 3 different types of kind of clients that come to us. To your point, Norman, yours is more the third. The first one is an entrepreneur that is below the red line. They're like, I'm throwing in the towel. I can't make any money. I don't understand what I'm doing. I got a marketing team that did all this, but I'm not making any money. We come in and go, okay, let's look at the offer stack. Let's see how you're taking it to market. Let's see what your processes are. We have our own Tag roadmap and program that we developed ourselves. So we run them through our Tag program, and then normally we get them to the point where they're making money. Right? They're now going towards revenue. The second type of client that comes to us is they're making money, but they're flatlined. They have enough to pay the bills, they have enough to pay the staff,
But that's
but they
it.
really don't have the lifestyle of taking a vacation or having that expenditure, that extra expenditure that they want to feel more relieved and feel almost to the path of freedom. So we have that particular client. And so we help them really, at that point, it's like a lot of mind shifting and other techniques that we do. And then we get them on a really deep path of either 10% or 84% net profit growth is normally the expenditures that our clients would be getting. And then on top of that, we have clients that come to us that have great revenue. They're so excited, but they just don't know what the next steps are to scale. And so we come in on a holistic view and say, okay, what's your growth and expansion look like? Where are you trying to go? Is it the wrong offer stack? Is it the wrong? So we kind of looked at, is there risk liability? Is it your contracts? We look at everything and then we see those gaps and we create those solutions. Also too, and those particular last two, we create what I say is called the onions, and we layer your onions in different products and services to where you have 7 or 8 of them. And then what they do at that point is we make sure that not only do you have a good pipeline for sales, but you also have a great revenue retention. And so I always say, fill the bucket up, plug your bucket up in each pillar, and that way your bandwidth is easier in each one to continue to grow faster and faster in your overall company perspective. So we have a variety of different clients that come to us. And like I said, taking the time off to go back into the lab and create this dynamic program and really launching it fully in January of this year has been exciting because the clients that we've already impacted from January to now has been just insane. And
Well,
so
it's only
we know that we're on the path.
It's only been a month and 3 weeks.
I know.
So
We have
you've
7
been-
clients.
You have how many?
Yeah. We have over 7
That-
clients. Yeah.
That's
in the
really,
first
really
month and a
good.
half. That's fabulous.
Yeah. And we also teach digital social media classes as well. So we have 2 social media classes that I teach as well. So we've just been really fortunate. People are just getting to know us and having, like I said, this opportunity to be on your show and other people. All I say is just take the time to have a call with us so we can kind of understand your business and understand where you're trying to go. And
I
if
want
we
you to
can't help you, we know other business coaches that are in different types of spaces that maybe that part of you need, and we refer out as well.
I have some
So-
leads. I have some leads for you, based upon the
Aw.
conversation that we
Yeah.
have tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. So if
We
you
love
it.
if you call me tomorrow,
Yes, sir.
I should be around. I don't think I'm going to be in the office. We had a situation this past weekend where our star performer, came down with COVID.
Oh,
And I didn't find out till 2 days before the show was supposed to go on. So, we had to put on the brakes and then we had to contact everybody. Well, it doesn't matter. So we just
Yeah, we'll
rebooked
we'll talk tomorrow for sure.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3. I have a number of people, but there's 2 or 3 in particular that I think you should certainly hook up with.
Yeah, and that's what we just love having the organic conversations. Because I think when we have the organic conversations, and I always ask like what they feel and have they gone this way. So whether they choose to, of course we want them to come with us, but it's up to the client's journey and you have to be happy along the journey. And so if
Yeah.
you're not ready for the journey for us, we give you tips to get on the journey.
Now, your
And
clients,
so
your clients that you have, are they local or are they across the
No.
country? So tell
5
everybody,
states.
tell everybody where they are.
So we have one in California. We have one that is in Atlanta. We have one that is in Utah. And then the other 2 are, I think California. I think they're in California.
Now, in
So,
your
yeah.
branding, you need to use the word national, because
Yeah.
even though you're new and recently just got started, you are now national. As soon as you get out of California, your home state, you become national. So I just made you national.
Thank you. We love national. We love national.
You
Yeah, we just want to
absolutely-
help. So we're really
No, you
excited.
don't. You want to help and you want to make money. You want to
Yeah.
create a business for you. You want to hire more people to go and work for you. So there's more to you than just meets the eye. which is good.
I think the reason why we want to be successful in our business is because we do give a lot to charity. So the more our business is successful,
Did you
the more
say
we
charity?
can give back. Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought
So
you
the
said
more we
charity.
can give back, the more we can give back into communities. And so even on our website, we have three choice charities on the website. One I was a former board member for 2 years with, and then the others the animal community I've been serving in
Yeah, talk
animal
about
rescue for
that, because
years.
you do a lot with animals.
Yeah, I do a lot. I love serving. And that's why I love being, and I challenge my CEOs too, like you have to get back into your community. I have been doing charitable work since, gosh, ever since I can remember, mainly in the animal rescue side of the house. I have done angel donating for, animals that needed severe medical and rehab to be able to be adoptable for homes. So I always get called from different organizations that need that just little help, right? To help those that don't have voices. My partner's really big about Canine for Warriors. So she's really big in, we want to serve back into our vets. We're huge in the vet community. We're all about making sure, we can do what we can to help that cause. And then the other one that is on our website is Gateway Center for Monterey. And like I said, I sat on the board for 2 years for Gateway. And Gateway is an organization that helps adults that have mental and physical disabilities live a productive life. Because most organizations or nonprofits will stop at the age of 18 and they don't continue to adulthood. And so, we're lucky to be able to serve that community because, again, we need to be voices for others that don't have voices. And so for us, it's all about giving back. We want to do more. I specifically want to do more. And so, every bit of what we do for our business, we give back. We want to be able to make sure that, when we leave, that we've left impact in other people's lives, whether it's through business or through charitable work. So that's a huge part of my heart specifically. I feel like I'm on this earth to serve, whether it's business owners, entrepreneurs, or, charity.
You just lost.
Hey, Norm,
yes.
Norm, who does she sound like? I'm sitting here and it's like, who is this lady? It's crazy, Shelley, because it's like, are you saying my words? Norm's heard me talk. When you said to be the voice for those who cannot speak, that's a tagline I used when I joined Toastmasters on May 1st of 2014. Because
Nice.
just like you're saying, that there's people who are invisible to society, right? But they shouldn't be. They can be productive. They can have all these things, but society casts them aside because they're not in the norm. But so I think that's where your business comes in and hits the spot in so many different levels because it's not a cookie cutter.
Haven't you guys
Would
spoken
you-
off air before?
Was that?
No,
You've never spoken off air?
no.
So I got to ask you, when is your birthday?
Here we go.
I'm actually in July. I'm a Cancer.
There you go, Norm. She's a water sign, and I'm a Piscean. There we go.
That's
And
why
I'm
we
a-
get along.
And I'm a Scorpio.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. All right. Sorry to the audience, but there's more to life than what we see here,
Absolutely.
and but I'm listening to you and it's wow. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's not a one size fits all.
No.
It's designing something for your clients. So let me ask you a question. You have a mom and pop situation, small business. They take over a company, let's say restaurant, from another person who's had it for 20 years. And they're doing everything right. They took over, they went to SCORE, they went to, they're doing everything right and they're still failing. What do you tell someone that is having that experience? If you're looking at the books are everything is right, but they're still not making it. What would you tell that person?
Change your prices.
For me,
prices, yeah.
for me, I think it's about the presence of the new owners and how they're showing up in whether it's social media, whether it's marketing. For me, because I have a very strong social media background, being in tech,
Mhm.
one of the classes I teach is actually called Ignite Your Digital Footprint, and we go into behavior analysis of
Mm.
like what does it look like on the back end. And I feel like maybe they're not getting the right exposure, positioning in the industry that they are. Because when you buy a business,
Mhm.
it's hard. They know that the business is under new ownership. People are skeptical of purchasing because they're so used to the other owners, not sure if it's going to be the same cooks, even though it could be, right? It's the perception of your audience. And so you just have to make sure that the messaging and how you're getting out there, whether it's through events, specials, so if you have a social media presence, how do you do that? So it's all about looking at where the gap is. And how we do that is really talking to the owners.
I have
We
a
go, okay,
suggestion.
yeah, what exactly happened? What did you see? And then my partner, she doesn't want to know anything about you. She will do a complete first impression of your company. And then she
Mm.
comes back and said, this is where the misses are. Like, this is where you're not showing up properly. Because it could be something that's so minute. And if you just kind of slightly pivot, you'll get the outcome that you're looking for.
I
But
have
sometimes when you're so into it and you're in your bubble and it's like your baby, you can't see because you're so tunnel vision. So we bring you out of the tunnel to be able to look at it more holistically. And we start kind of powwowing, going, well, what about this? What about that? We really pick the brain. And then
Mhm.
we go, okay, this is truly what the problem is. This is
Linda, if
truly
I'm
where the
not
miss
if
is.
I'm not mistaken, I think I have an idea of who this person happens to be that you're referring to. And I'm going to just mention one word, pizza. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love
now
pie, so that's perfect for me. Anything
okay,
pizza
so
related,
now
count
here's
me
a
in.
here's a suggestion of a recent situation that happened in a new takeover pizzeria in my
Yeah.
neighborhood. First of all, they do something special with the pies, as in putting olive oil on the bottom of the pans, right? Which is
Yeah.
different and which gives a great crust type of thing. They upgraded the cheese a little bit. Instead of being stringy and rubbery and whatever, it's a little bit more creamy. But once a week or twice a week, they have a buy one, get one free. And they do it
Wow.
via the email. Now, why they do that, I would imagine, because pizza is basically inexpensive to make. The
Mhm.
markup, the markup on pizza is huge,
Oh, sure,
is
sure.
huge.
Well, the
The
first mistake
extras.
they're doing is they're doing it by email. People don't look at their emails. They
Well,
don't pay attention to emails. They get so much spam. That's their
no,
first
no,
problem.
I'm telling you just the different. This place
Yes.
is killing it.
Oh, they are by through the email
They're
campaigns?
they're
Okay.
killing it. You can't get into this place. And they have all different types. But that's a suggestion.
Yeah. But here's the thing is even if they did it through email and they're still killing it, they're still missing some money on the table because, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I know myself and others that they don't either well, I look at email all the time, but because we get so much spam, there's so much noise in email, people will oversee things because if you get so much spam and then just say that one email is there and you have like 40 messages above it, unless you're dedicated to scroll through everything and clean up your email to where it's a zero every day, you're probably going to miss it.
All right,
But
we're gonna clean up the
them leaving money
email.
on the table, they can do strong social media. Like they can do, there's so many other things that they can also offer to even if they're killing it, they can even expand even more if
Okay,
that's truly
listen,
what they're doing.
lady,
And
lady.
vice versa. If there's a company using email and they're not getting any response, it's because they're positioning. They're not getting people to click on that email or open that email.
Well, I need to get some positioning, do my ads, or I'm not going to be in business very long, and I'm going to blame you. Then I'm going to call you
No,
and tell you to fix it. So there you go. So we're going to
you're
take a
not gonna
short
run
break,
you're not
lady.
gonna run ads. Okay.
We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back with Shelley from Ignite Revolutions.
My name is Lisa Rodino. I am a commercial loan advisor and broker. Have you been finding that your business's cash flow is not where you need it to be? Have you found yourself taking from your personal accounts to meet your business's obligations? Have you found that those quick solutions of quick money are starting to get awfully expensive? My job is to find the right funding products for my clients so they can get back to working in their business and give me the task of finding the best options for their situation. Give us a call today to learn more. 516-268-0350.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friend Entertainment USA. My name is Norman Wasserman. I am also known as the Music Man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Friend Entertainment. We put on concerts for charities, and we do that everywhere from New York to Las Vegas. We do R&B, Motown, rock and roll, jazz, whatever it is that you wish. Friend Entertainment will deliver the best of the best for you and your charity. Here are some of the names of the talent that have performed with us on our stage. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, the one and only ELO, Elton John himself, Kool and the Gang, and the fabulous Donna Summer. Go to our website, friendentusa.com. That's www.friendentusa.com, or feel free to call us at 631-698-9696. 631-698-9696, and we'll see you at the next show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Business Awareness Hour with our friend Shelley, our new friend from California. All right, who's a very quiet young lady. She's kind of laid back, and hopefully tonight's show will pep her up a little bit. And what do you think, Shell? You think you need a little of that?
How would people get in touch with you, Shelley? Because I suspect that our audience, there's so many questions that they have. They would love to be able to connect. How would they connect with you?
So I have a couple ways. The first, through our website, we do have, you can book a call with me. It goes right to my calendar. I can get on a call real quickly. We can have a chat. The other way is you can email me at tagwithshelley@gmail.com. I will get the emails, coordinate with you, and then get on calendar. I love doing Zooms because it's just nice to see people face to face, and you get to really see a person's body language and honesty through their eyes. So I love doing Zooms. I do phone calls as well, but I love Zooms. The other way you can actually reach out to me. My number is 831-245-5543. I am a texter, so if you want to shoot me a text, that works for me. And those are the three best ways, I think. Either email, text, or through the website. The call's free. Like, it just literally gets the Zoom link and on my calendar right away. So if you're really anxious to get me, that's the fastest way to book me. But other than that, yeah, that's the simplest three ways. 1, 2, 3.
And her website is right above her head. So
Yes.
to all of our audience, take a snapshot of Shelley and her company and her website. Okay, back to you, Norm.
No, back to you, because you're going to start with the website. We're going to go over it.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
sweet.
I got to say, I would think that anybody that looks at this website, they could see themselves in that picture, sitting around the table, trying to come up with solutions. So I think that's just captivating in itself. Right? Ignite Evolutions. What do we have here? Oh, we have social media DNA intro.
I love
That
that.
one just jumps out at me.
I love
Oh, I
that.
love it. So explain this for us a little bit, if you could,
So-
Shelley.
Absolutely. So how we came about the social media DNA intro was from our Ignite digital footprint. So the social media DNA intro is basically understanding the terminology of social media. We talk about language, we talk about hashtags, we talk about positioning, we talk about really understanding what social media is. A lot of times entrepreneurs and business owners go, okay, if I post this day, if I post this that day, what the frustration that I have heard is that people don't get the clicks or likes that they want, or comments or engagement. And it's because they don't really understand social media. And so we really go into, and then it's a 60-minute content, and I open it up for Q&A for 30 minutes because I want people to ask questions, and I want to be able to be there, say, well, what is this? Or what does this mean? Or what does this mean on TikTok? Or what does this mean on Alignable? Or what does this mean? And it's not about also just the simplistic ones that people come to us about, Facebook and Instagram. There's so many other different platforms that people can monetize their business on and be able to be successful. So that's kind of what the DNA is. So the DNA is really to understand the language and understand social. And then the ignite your digital footprint is more about, behavioral analysis. Like, what does it mean when you get the engagement? What does this look like? Are you positioned properly? Are you getting the right audience? Are you having the right starting of conversations to where you start monetizing off it? And how you're also branded on the social media platforms. Like for me personally, my clients are not on Facebook. So I use Facebook for more of my social and charity. Like I do a lot for the Stockton shelter. So I post a lot of dogs on there, where my Instagram is a mixture of who I am as a person and then business. But I have other platforms that I really get my clients from. So it's understanding what those particular social media platforms are used. Then you can understand the behavioral analysis of the people on it. And then you can determine how you're going to monetize off each. So the DNA is the first. It's a terminology. You don't have to take them in any order, by the way. And then Ignite Your Digital Footprint is second. And then in April, we're going to be announcing another social media class called How It All Works. So then it's going to combine all three of them together. And then you can really then customize and make money just like people want to do, like influencers. So it's just kind of understanding it on a more technical perspective, not on marketing or content creation side of the house.
So,
It's very cool. It's nerdy, but it's cool, I promise.
but you say DNA, and that's the pulse of who we are. I mean, one thing that stands out here is build a strong personal brand. How do you do that? Obviously you got competition out there, but what makes you unique that's going to stand out to people? What would you say to somebody that is looking for that?
No, that's a great question. I think when you have to do your own personal branding is to know yourself, to know authentic need. Being a business coach, we are actually business growth strategists, but we are in the coaching spectrum. People get lost in general terminology. And so they categorize everybody together. Social media has a lot of noise. And so it's to understand how to personally brand that to where you stand out above the noise, or you do things different from above the noise. I don't do everything in business. I have a specific, we have a specific niche that we do that we take to our clients that make us special. And that's our personal branding. So I would say just understand who yourself, accept who you are in the industry. Don't worry about the people in the space that's around you. Just as long as you can drive the outcome to who you want to serve as far as clients, whether it's products or services. The other way I would say about developing your personal branding, back to my other point, you have to understand which platforms you leverage a certain way. Like I use my Instagram more for influencing because I want people to know me as a person. And because once I get on a business call with you, it's a different type of Shelley because I'm all about your business and growing your business. So I ask different questions and I'm more, I create a safe space, or we create a safe space. Also too, what's different about our company, well, I shouldn't say different. I just say this is I feel a unique part of it is we have our clients sign a mutual NDA. And the reason why we do that is because we ask tough financial questions and we ask really detailed things that sometimes entrepreneurs or small business don't want to release to people they don't know. So we create that safe space to where that what you share with us, we don't share, and vice versa. The things that we share with you that's specific to your company that you don't share with other people, because that's giving away your secret sauce.
Do you have sort of like a HIPAA agreement type of thing that you offer when you first start talking?
We do. We have HIPAA. We have privacy policy. Again, my partner is the CEO of the company. She handles all of the all of the legal stuff for our clients. But we don't release information. We will give scenarios, but we never release information. And normally the scenarios we give will be success stories of revenue. Just so that people can know that we really know what we're talking about and we have proof that it has delivered in those aspects. But I think to your point, Linda, it says you have to know who you are, truly who you are, and not be afraid of the shiny things. Like right now, AI is huge. Everybody's about AI right now. So really, and I saw a lot of coaches shifting from what they really were mastery at to get on the AI trend. Instead of implementing AI specifically to their mastery of their coaching, they
Right.
switched their coaching and was like, I'm a mastery of this now. And so understanding how to integrate it properly to your true
Yeah.
brand is what's going to be your branding, which is going to excel you past others because people know you who you are from what you show them.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you brought up a good point because you're right. Everyone's jumping on the AI, but AI is just, and you know this as technical, right? It's just data that has
Yeah.
been programmed into a mainframe someplace, right? So they lose their identity
Yep.
when they do that. Maybe so there's a behavioral thing, like you were saying, they have to have that mindset change that, hey, I am of value in doing my business and such. But one of the things that one of our recent guests was saying that in 3 years, 2/3, I want to say, wasn't it something like that, Norm? 2/3 of the
Yes.
businesses that start out within 2 to 3 years they've
Are
gone
gone.
down.
They're gone.
Those are the customers or the clients, I should say, that would benefit tremendously from your expertise, your business's expertise.
And I think it's to people who are just starting because they don't have the bad behaviors of how they take the market. If you've never been to market, you can't make the mistake. And so instead of cleaning up, we're able to launch them faster straight off the gate. And to your point about AI, what the difference is they're doing AI as replacement, not as a leverage. The AI should be a leverage to their business, right? Don't get me wrong. I love AI. Just being in tech, I mean, I love AI.
Sure.
But I feel like a lot of people are using the full scope of it as a replacement for their business and not a leverage for their business. And that's the difference. It's just about really understanding how you can maximize it. Everything after AI, there's going to be something else, right? It's all
Absolutely.
about how you
That's going to be
integrate
quite a
those
while before
changes.
there's something other than AI.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, remember cloud back in the day, cloud changed everything for businesses, right? Zoom
Sure.
changed everything for business. It's adapting those changes into your business to enhance your business and your person. But it doesn't replace it. Like Zoom's not going to replace people meeting, person to person as,
Right.
things come further out of COVID. It's just an adaptability that you can use to leverage your business to have more connectivity across the world. So it's understanding that I think is a key for people. And when for AI first came out, my partner was like, "Oh my gosh, AI!" And I go, "Girl, don't worry about it." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." I go, because I love AI, right? And I go, "Let's just grab some popcorn and sit and watch." And it was interesting to see how many coaches or business coaches across the board, whether it's business, life coach, they changed and they're like, "Oh, now I'm an expert at this." And I'm like, "Well, wait, weren't 6 months ago you were an expert at this?" So it's just interesting to watch. And
The human dynamics, Shelley. That's what that is.
it's behavior
Because
analysis.
because most people, they flip because they're not so sure of what they're doing to begin with. And yeah, well, what's that? The fear of missing out, FOMO,
Yep.
right? Fear of missing out that, someone else is going to get. But if you come back to be authentic, who you are, then,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I did some research recently that there is a new terminology called touch deprivation, because with COVID, now we don't touch anymore, right?
Yep.
So we're losing something
Yeah.
in our chemistry when we're not embracing, like you said, going to meet somebody, having a cup of coffee or something
Shaking
like that.
hands, even shaking hands.
Exactly. So the newest changes and stuff are good, but
Yes,
people
sir.
need to understand who they really are, right? And how that impacts them, because they could be the loneliest people in the world then.
And the true mastery of people being successful is going to have the combination of both. They're
That's
going to
right.
know how to leverage the AI. They're going to know how to leverage the other things for their business, but they're still not going to lose that human connectivity because, with so many things in the market, there's so many business coaches, there's so many, other type coaches, marketing companies, whether it's digital or regular or whatever the case may be, right? There's so much competition, and you really have to not be afraid of that competition because there's so much. I think people forget that we're surrounded by billion and billionaires, right? No matter what we eat, touch, breathe, you look at, and people are so have that scaredness or about revenue, right? They're scared, like if I give this or if I, I got to be competitive. I got to be competitive. I'm on this rat race. I'm on this rat race. And don't get me wrong, people do that, right? And are very successful. However, that can cause burnout. That could cause a whole other thing because you're constantly in that chaos, right? Your hamster wheels keeps turning and turning and turning and turning. And what I always tell my clients is it's okay because there's enough money for all of us to win. Even if you take 1% of a multi-million-dollar and you just say you're trying to get to a 3 to 5 or $10 million, company where you have the sustainability to live your freedom or your free life, whatever that is, right? It's okay. There's so much money to be made. Don't be worried about chasing the money, worried about delivering a good product and service. And so
money
when you
will
do
take care of
that and
itself.
you take a step back, then you grow, and then you just use all these other amazing things that are happening and you just accelerate even further. So it's just really taking a step back and looking at it from a more holistical view, I think is key. And having the people touch. I love a village. Like I love connecting with people. I love going to coffee and being able to, support people, whether it's a retreat or anything like that, because we are all students. We're all learning from each other. And that's okay.
What's the next page?
How do you follow that, Norm?
I have no clue. I'm trying to catch my breath.
But oh my goodness, I could talk to you for hours, Shelley, because
Shelley,
it's kind of like, but I know we only have a few minutes. But Norm, go ahead.
We have a question that I love asking people because here's the question: what is an interesting story that you'd like to share with us and the audience? Now, based upon your conversations here tonight, based upon the years of experience that you do have, all right, there's got to be an interesting story or 100 that you can relate something to. Give it to us. What time? We have about 6 or 7 minutes left.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the great stories that I have, business-wise, really being able to, there was a company that I worked with that was I've never worked in that niche before, ever. And, but I knew that what we had was true. And watching this particular person grow from an entrepreneur to a CEO was phenomenal. And the reason being is when I saw the lights of when this particular person had the tangible results that they wanted, it was life-changing for me because I felt like that they were okay moving forward. And then here to find out a huge. Okay, so so we had a client who had a great product and service, like amazing product and service. The go-to-market was horrible. The messaging was horrible. They were so creative that they didn't want to do the operational side. So, and by the way, they love ChatGPT. So it was changing their communication from ChatGPT to really kind of understanding your audience and talking to your audience and building out that framework, right? And so as this particular client grew and grew in revenue, it was exciting because the ideas of where he wanted to go was tangible for this particular person. And when he was done with us, not only did he have really good revenue, but he was approached to do a spice line for a big supermarket, and he was able to do a brick and mortar or have a brick and mortar, but now he does a tapas. And so that was exciting because now we continue to keep an eye on our clients, by the way. And so we always support. And so every time I see this particular client post something or grow, I just congratulate because it's just so amazing to see that he was not stressed anymore because he was, financially where he wanted to be, and he's growing. He'll hit $1 million next year.
Really?
So probably by the end of this year or next year, he'll have $1 million.
What's
in
his
revenue.
product line?
He's actually a chef.
Oh my.
You hear that, Linda?
Oh my. Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that.
Yeah.
My son happens to be an executive chef, so yeah.
Yeah. So we never had a chef before, but we had one, and he's so brilliant. He's so talented in the kitchen. He offers an amazing service to his clients, and it was just helping him um, making what he had already just to be at just such a next level and doing what he loves to do just brought us so much joy.
What kind
The
of
other
food
thing I
does
want
he
to say,
cook? What is he?
all kinds. I can send you his information offline because I normally we don't tell who our clients are because again the NDA we just keep it really confidential. So because we respect that space, you know, we want them to be able to be like if they want to say who we are, great, but we don't disclose information. But if you want his services, I will connect the two of you together, and then
That'd
you
be
guys can
great.
have a conversation.
Sure.
But anyhow, so we because we deal with business and financials, you know, it's just kind of like we're the silent um powerhouse behind the executive. So if they want to share, great, but we just don't share.
No, and you
And
shouldn't.
so that's why our scenarios are so vague out of respect for our clients.
Of course.
And so another one I had, it was so funny. A real quick story about me where I just kind of knew I was on the right path. Um, I was working in corporate America. This was probably back in 2017 when I was just building my product. Not sure if I really wanted to do it or not. I was kind of like nervous, right? Because I was like, I've done it for friends, but my friend pushed me out of the box. She goes, "No, you have to give it to, you know, people." And so I beta tested. I was so nervous, and I was ready to throw the towel in. And I was like, I'm not sure. I love corporate America. I don't want to leave corporate, right? I'm 54 years old, and I retired from corporate at 50. Actually, I'm 53. I'll be 54. So I retired at corporate America in 53. And this is way back. I was probably in my late 40s when this happened. And I was like, I'm not sure. And so I was like, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm not doing this no more. I'm tired. I'm staying in corporate America forever. I'm going to retire out. So then I looked up and I was like, okay, give me a sign. If I'm supposed to do this, let me know. And the next day, I had 2 calls from universities, one asking me to come speak at their entrepreneur program. And the second one was asking me to be a part of the women's entrepreneur program that they had at their university. And because I was still working at corporate, I didn't take upon the opportunity, but I looked up and I said, okay, I got the message. I'm going to keep going. And so, so that kind of validated for me, like I knew what I was supposed to be doing because those opportunities just kind of fell in my lap, like meeting with you, Norman, and now with you, Linda. And today I get to talk to your audience. And, you know, you just have to have grace and have fun on the journey. And it's all about the journey. If you're not having fun, it's hard work. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get glazed over. It's okay. But if you're not having fun on the journey, you shouldn't be doing the journey. So let's just have fun. Let's put our boots on. Let's get to work, and let's have jokes and laughter along the way while you make the money. That's all we care about.
You couldn't have picked a better time. I mean, it's exactly the end of showtime. You nail it. It's like we rehearsed this, you know, and we didn't. You were just one fabulous guest tonight, and your clients are very, very lucky. I'm looking at your new website is beautiful. I don't know. I guess you noticed that there were some words that kind of like fall in with each other, like DNA and evolution. And I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It is.
All right. But excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. One more. Excellent. So we want to thank you very much for being here tonight. You did a great, great show. You made us look good. Made us look good.
Yes, indeed.
We couldn't
she
get
did.
2 words in to say, but you made us look really, really good.
But
No, you did-
Norm, can you feel the oxytocin? You
Absolutely,
have 3 water
absolutely.
signs. Norman's a water sign as well. Do you feel the difference? I mean, the oxytocin's just flowing, babe. You know, it's just
Absolutely.
And I could
It's like
talk
music.
forever, by the way, Norm. You know me, I could talk forever. So I appreciate you allowing me to really share the space. I probably talked more than I should.
No, we didn't finish. We have
but-
plenty more to go and talk about, you know, except the timing is in. And the people here are really, you know, I don't want to talk about them because they're right here. But if I don't get out of here at a certain time, they really could. All right, I'm going. All right, so that's how it is. So thank you so much for being here, and I want to thank everybody
Thank
for
you,
tuning in tonight. Shelley, I want you to stay there. Don't say goodbye. All right, I just want to give Shelley a bit of applause for a fabulous job. We'll see everybody next Tuesday evening on the Business Awareness Hour. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.
The Business Awareness Hour with Lisa and the Music Man is brought to you by Media Stations in Bohemia, New York.